Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Welcome back to another episode of the Ticket to Anywhere podcast. I go by Trizzy.
And I'm Leah, LA in flight.
We are two voices, two views, and two ways to adventure anywhere. So in this episode, we had Jeanine and Martha of the Oh My Travel podcast, two female podcasters, two female travelers, and two females with a friendship stemming from college. Sounds a little familiar, right, Leah?
Where have I heard that before?
Well, it was a blast having these two boss ladies on our episode. They are creating a platform of inclusivity, a place for females, people of color, people of the LGBTQIA plus community, and many others to share their experiences.
Yep, absolutely. And I, obviously saw a lot of parallels between Martha and Jeanine and you and I. And as we got deeper into the episode, like the similarities got more coincidental and like continued to blow my mind. You know, two strong Latina women, one bringing the other idea, the idea to start the podcast, which is like Trizzy came to me and said, hey, you want to go on a run at 3 a.m. with me, run up some high ass steps so I can give you this idea. And I said yes. And now here we are. And, Martha and Trizzy are like the in-house editors. It's like, hey, we got teams here, So if you follow Oh My Travel podcast, like Trizzy said, you'll see they're super active in world issues, local issues, world issues, very diverse women. They're trying to bring equality to all. And, T2A strives to be like them. They try to grow to create immunity and give a platform where we share others' diversity. And I think, we love to see guests on that have different stories and can share equally the glory of travel as well as the struggles of travel. And I thought it was cute how Jeanine felt like she was answering some beauty pageant questions.
That was a really good question. You guys will know what the question is the further you get into the episode for sure. Mm-hmm. But before we dive into it, we want to highlight the coffee and the tea that is fueling us.
To create these episodes, we always need that drink.
Yes, and I am sipping on jasmine tea. It's from a jasmine flower.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So weirdly enough, I went to a coffee shop and got a matcha today. And I did get a Dunkin' matcha blueberry with almond milk. So had coffee earlier today, but on this episode, I was drinking matcha blueberry, which is so delicious, not gonna lie, but still coffee fanatic forever.
Well, enjoy the episode, everybody. Ticket to Anywhere podcasts are excited to partner with Cirque du Soleil in Las Vegas. You could enter to win 2 tickets to see their live show, Mystère, on the Las Vegas Strip. All you have to do is tag a friend who you go to Vegas with. Drop it into any of our platforms, Instagram, YouTube comments, Facebook comments.
Intermission is over. Mystère, the original must-see Cirque du Soleil show, which combines powerful athleticism and high-energy acrobatics, is perfect for the whole family. See Mystère, now performing at the Treasure Island Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. Check out their website at www.cirquedusoleil.com/Mystère. Don't forget to tag on any of our platforms who you're bringing to Las Vegas in order to win. We're announcing winners at the end of October 2021, so go ahead, get it, and enjoy this episode.
Hey there, it's Trizzy and Leah, your hosts for the Ticket to Anywhere podcast.
We created this travel podcast for you, who's just as obsessed with exploring the globe as we are.
We each travel a different way and even have different work schedules, but every episode we aim to widen your worldview, inspire you to consider a destination near or far, or learn from others.
With us, you can adventure from anywhere. Keep in touch with us on social media at Ticket to Anywhere Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Never miss an episode by subscribing to Ticket to Anywhere Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Pocket Casts. and hit subscribe to follow our visual podcast on YouTube.
If you find value and enjoy our episodes and special guests, please rate us and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. It means the world and it helps others discover us as well. You can also leave comments or reviews on our YouTube channel or Facebook page. Be sure to search for Ticket Number 2 Anywhere Podcast. Take a screenshot of whatever episode you're listening to and tag us in it on Instagram, or send this episode to a friend if you think it's helpful.
And if you'd like to provide monetary support, you can support our work by buying us a coffee. Just head to buymeacoffee.com/ticket to anywhere.
Okay, we have the ladies from the Oh My Travel Podcast, Jeanine and Martha. We're so excited to have you guys here with us. I'm going to give you guys a visual right now. So pretend we are not virtual. We're at a round table and I come up to you ladies and I'm like, coffee or tea? What's your answer?
Tea.
Okay.
Can we have any kind of tea?
Okay, so you're tea as well. So we got 2 teas. What is your go-to tea usually?
Well, you said round table, so I assumed I was like at dim sum and they were just going to bring the chamomile or jasmine tea. And I just
okay. Yes. Got to burn those dim sum fatty foods, greasy food out with the tea. What about you, Jeanine?
Matcha tea. Latte.
Jeanine, you would be so girl.
Look at that.
Matcha blueberry. I know it's like real sweet, but I'm like,
Duncan, sponsor this episode.
All right. So
dang, no votes for coffee out here.
Yeah. Leah,
not
you're
even
left out.
not even for myself today, apparently.
You sipping on a matcha latte.
Every now and then.
I like jasmine. Jasmine is one of my go-tos because it's not that strong in caffeine. You can have it any time during the day. Oolong is also pretty good for me too. So
I have an oolong peach tea right now in my hand.
Good. Peach anything.
Yes. Put some ice in there. It's always that's like refreshing. Okay, ladies. You guys are 2 female travel podcasters. Leah and I are inspired by you guys. All right. When we want to know, what was that light bulb moment when you were like, we got to start this podcast?
Martha. She was a light bulb. I love podcasts. So I've been like on the podcast like tip for like ever. And I would just listen to them all the time, especially because I had a really long commute for work. And Jeanine always had like travel stuff. So I was telling her, you should start a podcast. You should start a podcast. And she was just like, yeah. And then finally I was pregnant and I had stopped working. And I told her, well, let's start a podcast because I have nothing to do and I'll do it with you. I'll do all the work and stuff. And I was like, we just have to record. You just have to be like the host of it. So then she said yes, and then we started it. So it was really fun. It was like a while. I feel like I was telling you for like over a year, like to start it. And then it was I got pregnant and didn't have anything to do that I was like, no, you're doing it.
Does this story sound familiar at all, Trissy?
None of us got pregnant, so
yeah. Well, okay,
no.
not detail for detail, but
yeah. I mean, I approached Leah with the idea as well because.
But you know how she did it? She's like, "Hey, you want to go on a run with me at 5:30 this Friday?" And I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" And I was like, "Of course I will." I would never do it for anyone but her.
But I gave her I was like, hey, do you want to, go on a run or do the stairs with me at like 5 a.m. or 5:30 in the morning? I had a business pitch to make to you.
Yeah.
And so I think that was the part
that was definitely, it wasn't
fine,
the run
I'll do
at
it.
all. It wasn't the run. It was like her. I was like, all right, what? She about to tell me something. So.
And this all happened.
I think I found Jeanine and the podcast like through our podcast account first. That was how I discovered you. And then we ended up being like, Jeanine's been part of Sidewalker Daily for a while. And that's where like we became close and then met Martha, obviously. And I was like, oh my God, little familia in LA. So
I know it like all came full circle because
Mhm.
yeah, we connected through Sidewalker and here we are.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, thank you guys for connecting, all of us. So Jeanine, why did it take over a year of Martha just bugging you?
right. I know, Jeanine, you're out there creating.
I knew nothing about podcasts. I was trying to be more consistent with the blog, and that was already a struggle.
Mhm.
So another platform just seemed like too much. But we like balance all these platforms now, so it just seems like it's just like another thing now.
Yep. Yep. Totally get that. But it's a good supplement, I feel like, to your content for sure. And a good way. I mean, we've been using it to like network and meet new people as well. So it's been awesome. And we're huge fans of yours and all the guests that you bring on. Everyone has something to teach us.
Yeah. And for those who don't know or not aware of the Oh My Travel podcast, do you guys want to give them a little spiel about what you guys offer, what kind of content, what kind of guests you guys bring on?
Martha.
I was like, well, I guess basically, it's, I guess, here for everyone, obviously, but we focus it more on women travelers because me and Jeanine are women, and then people of color as well, just because I feel like a lot of the travel stuff and the writers that are in magazines or that do segments on the news, it's very male dominated, white male dominated, even straight. So we wanted to just be like a different voice, a different perspective. So we try to reach out to people and connect with people that have those different experiences out there. So yeah, a lot of women, people of color, and non-binary or whatever gender, not gender they identify with. We are definitely very open, and everyone's experience is just very unique. So we just want to kind of highlight that.
I love that. Yeah, you definitely, it feels like you bring on people from all walks of life, which we try to do as well. And all of these folks, have their own story. You don't discriminate. Like, you give these people these guests a platform to come onto and share their story. And that's so empowering.
Mm-hmm.
So kudos to you, ladies.
Seriously, you guys are like 5 seasons in. That's crazy. And you average kind of like 20 episodes per season. So that's 100 episodes if I'm doing my math correctly. That is insane. So props to you guys. Congrats on that. So what have you guys learned about, sustaining a podcast throughout these 5 seasons?
Oh my God, we've learned so much.
I bet.
We've learned how to kind of manage things, I guess. It took us a while to actually get into a routine, I think, with it. We've always had it so that, we're doing new episodes every Tuesday, while the season is going. But I mean, other than that, we didn't really have like now we're like planning more. We're like thinking about strategically planning. Who are our guests? Who do we want? Martha will tell me who are your dream guests that you would want for this coming season. So a lot more planning, I think, is
it's more work now. I think before it was a very it was a way for me to just kind of be creative because I wasn't working and I was kind of going crazy just by myself. So I kind of used Jeanine as like my person to be like, put all my energy like into her. So I'm very happy that she agreed. But even now getting more like, not like that we weren't serious about it before, but we were just doing it to do it, like, and now we have like an active Instagram account that we update, we try to at least when the season's running, because I feel like we didn't get an Instagram until like way later, and then we weren't posting things consistently like at all, and it was just kind of like, hey, like we're doing something like really quick, but but now it's more like engaging with people and promoting and things like that. So that's been very different and hard because that's like a job. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like content creation. I'm just like, this is exhausting.
It sure is.
Yeah.
I want to know the oh, sorry, go ahead, Leah.
No, go ahead.
Mine is gonna be like switching into like I just want to know the background of your friendship.
Oh yeah, so Martha and I met many years ago when we were young. God, we weren't even 20 yet.
Wow.
Or maybe, I don't know, something. We met in college. We're sorority sisters. We go way
Dude. Keep going.
oh yeah, so we're Delta Zetas, and we met in college. And I mean, we knew each other in college, but I feel like we got really close like right after college, or like right at the end, right?
Yeah, because we kind of got together outside to do something. I don't know what it was, but we were like, oh yeah, let's meet up. And then we met up, and then we kind of followed each other home. And then I was like, where do you live? And she's like, and then we ended up living like literally like a city over. So then we got like right after that.
Dude, that is so cool.
Leah and I didn't know each other from a sorority, but it was
I mean,
basically
come on,
kind
it
of
was
like a cult. This was our sign.
It was
AMA,
basically
AMA.
It was basically a fraternity. Like
Basically, yeah.
we partied like it was one. We were in a business club together, a marketing club together.
Yeah.
But like that's so funny because we're seeing all these like parallels between you, and I was like, this is like meant to be.
I know. Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
It was a business club where you got to party?
Oh yeah, because like we both studied marketing in college, and marketing is the only unit of business that like parties. So, or at least the only school in the school of business that did. And so we were known as like the partiers. This was back in our days. Trizzy's like not about that anymore.
I'm such a grandma now. It's funny because Leah was basically our event planner. She was the one throwing the parties.
I was throwing the parties, and it was so funny because they would always never give me the X's on the hands because I was planning the party. I was giving them money. So even though I was underage, they were like letting me drink anyway. Hopefully no one listens that far into this episode to hear that, but I'm kidding. I want them to hear everything about Oh My Travel podcast.
Listen to it.
Jeanine was the president of the sorority, so we had to behave around her. So she didn't know any
President.
of the
Dang, girl.
All right, you go, girl.
That's so cute. So you've known each other. Yeah, like Trizzy and I have known each other 14 years. Wow. And I just posted a graduation picture of her.
Yeah, seriously.
I saw that. I was like, what event is this? And I was like, guys, it's clearly a graduation.
She said citizenship or baptism. Like, I love the options.
And a diploma.
Did you see, Martha? We were holding bags that said literally class of 2011.
I saw that. I was like,
I was just trying to be funny. That's so sweet. So you became close after college, and then you just like, continued through life that way. How long ago did you start the podcast?
We started recording in 2017, like at the end of it. Because in 2018 I had my son. Oh wait, no, maybe it was either December 2017 or January 2018, because we planned like everything out and then we started recording. And I was like super pregnant, and in one of the episodes I'm just like, I'm never gonna have this baby. He's not coming out.
We're like a month late.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
God. Yeah, so that was fun.
By the way, your kids are adorable.
I know.
I love kids.
They're super, super cute.
Yeah.
Martha's representing the whole world over there because they're mixed babies.
Yeah. So Mexican, Vietnamese, Chinese, born in America.
Oh wow.
We'll see what they do.
all that cuisine. Woof.
Oh, we eat good. They are definitely eating good.
Oh, so sweet. Okay, so tell us more about like your travel styles, like what they were before, Martha, like pre-kids, like pre-COVID. Do you travel together anymore? Like, tell us about that.
We haven't traveled together since maybe like a little mini trip that we did to the desert for a concert for that weekend, right? Or for my bachelor. No, I was already married, so that was the last like trip that we had. But our big trip was when we hiked Machu Picchu. But yeah, we haven't gotten any trips since then because I unfortunately got married and had babies. Not really.
Girl.
It really did. So now I only travel with those unruly people. And yeah, so I'm more of a, I feel like me and Jeanine are different because I feel like I'm a little bit more of a, not bougie traveler, but I'm not staying at a hostel. I'm very like boutique hotels that I find us. Because even with when we went to Peru, remember, I'm the one that found like I got all the hotels and I'm the one that kind of got everything like ready. Well, I mean, it was a collaboration, but I was like,
Wait, so Jeanine, are you like a hostel stayer?
I mean, my travel style has like really evolved. I think when I first started traveling solo, this was like 6-ish years ago. And I would do a lot of hostels because I was looking to meet people. I was looking to travel cheaply. I was going to places and staying there for, weeks to months at a time. So that was the most sustainable way to do it. I would say in like the past couple of years, like the year before COVID hit and all that, I was kind of like mixing it up where I would go stay at a hostel or I would stay at a private room in a hostel and then stay at either like an Airbnb where I'm either like staying with a family in like a private room or something like that where it's like, more affordable. And then I'll mix it up, like do a hotel every, few stays. It just kind of depended, but I was definitely trying to stretch my dollar as much as I could because the more I saved, the more I could travel.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's definitely true because I was traveling on vacation, like time off that I got from work. Well, so my travel was like a few weeks out of the year, whereas Jeanine was traveling like a few months out of the year. So obviously I had a bigger budget because it was like less, like it was more compact.
I feel like Martha, you are Trizzy and Jeanine is like me. Like literally I'm listening to you ladies. I'm like, this is where we're like matching up.
I know.
We should have Martha. Like dueling missions. Me and Trizzy will go somewhere and then you and Jeanine will go somewhere and see who has the better time.
Yeah, Trizzy's really good with kids and everything. See who has a better time. What? When did this become a contest?
Martha, my bedtime's at 8:30, so I don't think we're gonna be on that one. Like
bedtime is that time too. Before
and I'm an Aries, everything is a competition. Like that's just
oh my gosh. Aries baby. I love okay, so travel style has evolved. Where do you see, I guess like a few questions here. I'm curious to know like where you see travel going, where you see your podcast going, like where do you want to take it to? What's the future like? Give us a vision.
Yeah, I think with our podcast, we just really want to amplify unique voices. We want to build more of a community within travel. Some things that we talked about that would be cool to see in the future is maybe doing something where we have like a collaborative group trip, not like something where it's like, hey, this is the trip. I made up the itinerary and give me $5,000 and I'm going to, we're going to take you to these places. I think it's more of a collaborative effort where we would want to do like workshops and things like that. But yeah, I mean, that's something that we've just briefly kind of talked about. And I think our main focus is just like growing the community.
Yep. Absolutely. Focus on the others. Focus on the crew. Yeah. Okay. So then this is a good follow-up. Like after, you know, both of you seeing the world and where you've traveled to, what is the one cause that if you had to only take on one cause for the rest of your life, what would you like spend your life fighting for, fixing, making better?
I think for me, it would have to do it like, I don't know, something environmental, something with either the ocean or like helping the forest. I feel so like, I feel like I'm in a beauty pageant being like put on the spot.
You are.
I'm like, I'm in the ticket anywhere.
I didn't even realize that was like a beauty pageant question, but you're like so right. It is.
I think that the way I was like thinking about it, I was like, oh my God, how am I? Yeah, it would probably be like something like with either like, I don't know, replanting trees or cleaning the ocean.
Big dreams.
Should we give our scores now?
No, let's wait for Martha and then we'll make it a contest.
Got you. Oh yeah.
After, you know, traveling the world and seeing all the issues that have arisen, I definitely think that, I don't feel like there's just so many things that are just like honestly like fucked up that I couldn't even like pick what I would want to focus like my fight for. I guess the big one is I don't know. I guess like just treatment of others, like equity, but for like what? Like for everything, for life, like healthcare or like decolonization of like places. I don't know.
There's a lot. Yep.
That was a tough one.
That was really good. And I think travel helps us see more of those issues. Have you ladies ever been in a situation where like while you're traveling, where you've like seen firsthand real life, like, you know, the type of poverty that goes on there or like inequality, or have you been like caught up in a march anywhere? Like any like crazy travel stories that it's like you've run into these things that like we only hear about on the news sometimes, and then when you're traveling and you're like, oh shoot, I'm in the middle of it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been like in the middle of like a serious, not knocking anything that's not serious, but like not like
a dangerous situation.
Like nothing dangerous. I mean, I remember seeing like protests, but it wasn't like it wasn't like a big world issue, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that. I don't know, Martha, have you seen any or been involved?
No, not when I've been like traveling. No, I mean when we went to the Women's March, but that was kind of like our own like issue or whatever. But not anything where I've gone to another country and have been involved with any of the protests or like any type of sit-in or something like that. No, but I remember when we went to Cuba, we did see like the obvious differences in how people are living that are from there versus like travelers that are going there. I mean, we stayed at a casa particular, right, Jeanine? Is that what they're called?
What was it?
The casa particular.
Yeah. Casa particular.
And then I know like we were just, because I feel like I'm pretty friendly and like we're very friendly people. So we were with our host, and she was, you know, showed us like the booklet of like how they get their food, and just letting us know that, you know, they kind of like help each other out. Usually like if there's a birthday party and you need eggs, like you might trade like your neighbor for like some rice for some eggs because you don't have like that many vouchers for like certain things. But yeah, so things like that, it was like really eye-opening to see how like people live like that.
It's
So-
interesting that we did experience that, and like if I hadn't gone to Cuba, I would have never known that. And people don't show that. And I think a lot of people who post on social media, and I'm probably guilty of that as well, like you just see like, oh, there's colorful cars and there's like these cool, whatever. And it's just a very different picture there.
Okay, so two things here. I have a question and comment. What is a casa particular for those of our audience that don't know? Because I actually don't know what that is either. So what is that?
So in Cuba, there's I guess depending on what you're doing, like they have hotels obviously, but they don't have like an Airbnb. So it's kind of like their Airbnb system. Families that have homes can rent out rooms, and it's just that's just kind of what they're called. And they were like, it's hard to get homes or to buy homes because the government can like pick your home to like build on, or like that someone in the government like wants it or would need it for something, and then the family would like move because she was telling us that her daughter's boyfriend, they have like at least 4 generations like living in like their small house, and that's why he kind of moved in with them because their house was bigger, and it was just like they have like 9 people living there, and it's like you can't really afford, or like the average person can't really afford to buy like another home like we would here. I mean, here it's tough as well, but like over there she made it seem like it was almost impossible.
That's really interesting. Yeah, it's interesting to hear all of this because I know both of you ladies are really active on social media when it comes to like activism and fair treatment of everyone. So wanted to see like what your thoughts were, what your experiences were. And I know you say like, Oh My Travel podcast, like focuses on that, giving these BIPOC people this platform to speak on. So it's wonderful to hear, just different stories and different experiences. And another thing, Jeanine, I saw a video the other day. My friend is from Hawaii, and he posted like a side-by-side, like one woman's like, this is what it's like living in Hawaii my whole life. And it's protests and people being treated unfairly and equally, the government trying to stomp on the land. And then like a white woman on the other side saying, I've lived in Hawaii for 4 months and this is what I've seen. And it's all just the beauty of it and none of the real politics. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so sad. Like, that's not the real Hawaii. It's a part of it, but it's not the foundation of it. So yeah, I thought that was interesting.
I've been seeing a lot of that on TikTok, a lot from the locals, and how the tourists there, I mean, the people living there that come from mainland who are just moving there, that's that's a whole other story. But like the tourists there, a lot of them are, well, I don't want to say a lot of them, but there's been a lot of bad stories of like tourists just being not good tourists.
And to be honest, I feel like it may have been amplified the past year because it's like one of the only places we can fly to, right? So everyone's going there. Every kind of tourist you can imagine, which not every tourist is like, a respectful one, but we try.
All right, ladies.
Y'all didn't want to know the rapid fire beforehand, so
here we go. We are entering into the T2A Q2A, which is the Ticket to Anywhere Quick to Answer segment. 4 questions. First one, do you have any rituals or routines when you get to a new place?
I just kind of dump everything and pick a bed and probably use the restroom.
Simple as that.
I check the closet and behind the shower to make sure.
That is actually probably the smartest one I've ever heard. Like, you don't know, the boogeyman can be anywhere.
Or cockroaches.
Or
Ugh.
cockroach. Yeah, the boogeyman or cockroaches.
Or Ted Bundy, or like, like the next Ted Bundy. Who knows?
That's actually probably the smartest one I've ever heard.
And like something pops out and I'm like, well,
Yeah.
my bad.
Oh man. All right. So what item or items do you absolutely need with you on your travels?
A water bottle.
I saw you chugging from that one.
Oh yeah, I'm always like, stay hydrated.
Hydro flask, where you at?
How many items are we listing? Was it just one?
Whatever you need. Whatever you need.
Okay, so I need my phone, emergency like copies of things, and toilet paper.
Oh,
I never rest.
very unique.
Toilet paper though is legit, like in the Philippines, all throughout South America and the Philippines. My dad even told me to bring extra bars of soap. I'm like, why? And he's like, because your relatives here run out of soap fast. I'm like, okay. And he's like, and they're too poor to like buy more soap. So bring soap. I'm like, okay.
Smart.
Yeah,
smart.
and we left a lot of that stuff like for our host. We left like all the toilet paper we had left, like
Yeah.
People were asking for toothpaste and gum from us, like the instead of money. So yeah, that's for real. Like people need that.
100%.
All right. So what else are you besides a traveler?
I am a woman. This is like, I don't know. This is a very philosophical question. I am a human.
How you wish. I'm a pageant queen.
I know. I don't know why I keep doing this. It's just like a little like, I am a dog mom. I don't know.
Oh,
See, that is exactly the kind of answer we are looking for.
I guess I am a woman as well, but a mom and Mexican, and that's it, I guess. A person.
Heck yeah,
love it.
that's all you need to be. All right, last question. And then please tell us where to find y'all after this question. What is your biggest travel flex? It doesn't matter if everyone else thinks it's a flex. Like what is unique?
It could be like a place that you've been to. It could be how you got to the place. It could be like, I'm really good
habit,
at finding hidden gems
Yeah.
and things like that.
I guess my travel flex would be that I can make friends easily. I have very good intuition, so that's how I can make friends easily, but also enemies. So I know who to like avoid, and I know who to like link up with. Like there's people that like take me like places, and I'm like, oh, thank you, you're so nice.
Oh, give me some of your intuition. I'm terrible at that.
I guess one of my biggest travel flexes is, well, just in general, like if I'm very determined to do something, I'll do it. Like I am a firm believer that I've manifested all of my travels. And I mean, prior to the pandemic, those last 2 years, I traveled, I traveled for 6 months out of the year. So I guess my manifestation is my biggest travel flex. I don't know.
That's amazing.
So important. Absolutely. Yep. All right, ladies, Martha and Jeanine of Oh My Travel Podcast, let everyone know where to find you. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Yeah, thank you, ladies. You could find Oh My Travel Podcast on Spotify, Apple, Google, all of that. We're also on Instagram at Oh My Travel Podcast. I'm also at La Wild Explorer and lawildexplorer.com. And Martha?
I am only on Oh My Travel Instagram, and my personal Instagram is Martha Gets It, and that's where you'll see my kids and just random stuff.
There we go.
There you go. All right. Thank you again, ladies. You
Thank
be
you both.
safe. Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Ticket to Anywhere podcast. Don't forget to connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. If you love travel as much as we do, hit subscribe on our YouTube channel as well as anywhere you listen to podcasts such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Pocket Casts. Thank you all for your support so far. When you have the time, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We love to hear your thoughts and feedback, and it'll help others come across our episodes and hopefully be inspired to travel and adventure anywhere.